What's up, y'all? We're back, and I found myself a co-host. Say what's up, man.
What up? I'm Chris Flores here.
That is the very outspoken Chris Flores. We're bringing back the podcast to, we're going to kind of reformat it to Road to the Optimal Self. And Chris has been one of my main, I guess you could call it training partners over the last, when we start working out together.
I started coming here in December.
So the last 8 months?
Yeah, but then meeting you in Clyde in July.
Yeah, so a little over a year I've known Chris, and we kind of just hit it off because he's an asshole and he stepped on my foot and tried to break it the first time I met him. And he's been my main training partner, so I asked him to do this, to be my co-host and to give a little different perspective to what we got going on. And frankly, Chris, you can kind of expand on this, but you've kind of been on the road to your optimal self since I met you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I basically was just always lazy for the first 25 years of my life. So getting into fitness, I don't know, it changed something with me, just trying to improve on every little aspect. So
let's back up here. You said the first 25 years of your life, you were like, what clicked that made you, and it wasn't hills?
No. Well, in like 2016, I got a DUI, so I had to do jail time, and then I just basically wanted to go in the complete different direction with where I was going. So
oh shit!
And it started with just trying to lose weight because I was a lot bigger then. So
what were you at your peak?
I was 215, but it was a bad 215.
Yeah.
Like muffin top.
Just
dude, it was bad,
Muffin top.
Yeah.
So what you do the first couple months when you were trying to get from 215? What did you start with?
I bought a bicycle and I would hit the bike trail.
Like a mountain bike or just?
Yeah, just a mountain bike, and I was just doing that for about a couple months, and then I don't know what made me want to try running, but I tried it, and then I just got hooked on it. And I seen a David Goggins video, something about running. He was doing something, and I don't know, it just clicked. I don't know. I became obsessed with it.
Yeah, that's the weird thing is a lot of people talk about the runner's high and this obsession with running. I never got that, dude. Like, I've ran a marathon. I've done a half Ironman. I fucking hate running. I still to this day. I mean, I do it a lot. I'm pretty fucking good at it, but it's not something I look forward to. Like on the flip side, though, I fucking love biking. Biking to me is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
To just get out there. So it's weird that you can do two very similar things. I just find running to be so hard on my knees and my joints.
I don't even know if I like it. I think I just like how I feel after, to be honest. So.
That's hilarious. So, and that took you up until hills? You were just running and biking, or you had done some circuit stuff too?
I would lift with a buddy of mine after work, but we didn't know what we were doing. We were just going up there and just doing the same stuff every
Were you doing
night.
Bicep curls?
Yeah, curls, benching, just the same stuff. And we did that for a year or so, and it's I don't think there was any progress. We didn't do anything right.
Yeah. But that happens with a lot of people, though. I noticed when people first come to our gym and talk to us about whatever, I'm always like, so talk to me about what you're good at. And they're like, I can fucking bench and I can do bicep curls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, or you get the complete noob that doesn't know anything. And maybe they ran or they walk, but I'm like, it's always interesting to me because I'm like, why bench and bicep curls? And I think it's because when you look at fitness videos, those are the two that you see the most of.
Yeah, the glory muscles.
It's I'm gonna fucking bench. So everybody does that. And then they come to me and it's like, what the fuck are you doing to my legs? Nobody wants to squat, and then I make them squat a lot, and they're like, why?
Completely different workouts.
It's fun. So you did circuits, and then was that just what? So we'll get there, but me and you actually met at Hills Martial Arts doing jiu-jitsu. But was there anything in between the circuit and running before you went to Hills?
No, I was basically just running and biking, and then the occasional lifting. And Joe and I would talk about jiu-jitsu. I don't even know what started that. We're talking about joining for like the longest time. And then
Were you guys into the UFC?
Yeah. I'm really into it. So that was kind of what did it. But then with him, it's like, let's go do it. I found this place in Clyde that does it, right before work, so it would actually work out. And we couldn't talk about it for 6 months and then not actually do it once found out it was actually possible, I'd look stupid if I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then like, no, I'm not going to do it.
That's hilarious. So you guys, was that before COVID or right
after?
after?
We were talking about it before COVID, and then he found it, then COVID happened. Then that put it off. And then one random day, he's like, hey, I joined, and I followed right after, so.
I don't ever remember him showing up without you.
He was a month before me.
Really?
Yeah. And that whole month he kept saying, you're going to come? I was like, yeah, next week I'll join. And I didn't realize I kept pushing it off.
Well, side note, people, if I am one of Chris's main coaches, and he will tell you, I don't give him the option. I say, motherfucker, show up at 10:30. Or we're actually going to drag some sleds after this. And I was like, I noticed he's got flip-flops on. And I'm like, were you not planning on dragging the sled? And he's like, I guess I didn't realize that was happening. And I'm like, well, fuck yeah, it is. Like,
I guess I got to do it.
So Joe, next time you tell him when the fuck to be there. And it works out pretty well. But right after COVID, it was basically just me and Gerald before Joe, I guess, started. And then that Ryan dude started, and then you started.
Him.
And it wasn't even during a Tuesday, Thursday class when it was just the couple of us that me and you really hit it off. It was a Saturday class where there was a big group. There was a big group of people, and for whatever reason, I was feeling a little ornery that day, and I just was. You can say it better than I will. I don't feel like I was talking shit. I was just talking to you the entire time that we were rolling.
Oh yeah.
And you kept saying dumb shit back to me, like. I had you in mount, and you were like, "What would Jesus do?" And I'm like, I just say stupid shit like Jesus would fucking tap, dude. And then I don't remember what it was, but you were trying to get past my guard, and you're like, "Your legs are so."
I said, "I can't get past your legs or guard." And you're like, "That's kind of the point."
That's kind of the point. So you stomped on my fucking foot and pinned it to the ground, and I started laughing hysterically because that is actually a proper technique. Funny. And I'm like, so I started calling you the foot stomper.
Yeah. I thought you were actually going to bring up the when I broke my foot.
No, because that was I was getting there, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I was getting there, but so I called you the foot stomper for like a week, and then one of my other buddies that doesn't really roll anymore. Showed up on a Saturday. It was the day before I was competing. Back last, I think it was October. So I was cutting weight and I was not rolling, and I had been on you to actually try and stand up and wrestle with people.
Yeah.
And right before you rolled with my buddy, I was like, "Hey, Chris, don't stand with him. Like this isn't the guy."
Yep.
And like not even 2 minutes later, I hear like you scream, and it sounded like a fucking firecracker went off.
Oh,
and you broke your foot.
Didn't realize it was broke till like 2 days later too.
Yeah. But I think that was really, even though I talk about this you stepping on my foot and me joking around with you, I think that was actually the point where we became, I don't want to say coach and athlete type, but we became like buddies at that point, like training partners, because I did not let you, I think you were out for like 6 weeks, and I don't think I went more than 2 days without sending you a text?
Yeah, because I gave you my number right around that time, and you were like in contact with me when I was at home,
Yeah. I'm like, dude, come over for the UFC. Dude, just stay in this, because I've seen so many people
you're right.
start out and then quit. And injuries, unfortunately, they do take a lot out of your students. They do take a lot out of your memberships. They do take a lot out of everything. And you were a dude right off the bat, like Wendy used to call us the Smile Bros, because we were the two that always walked in and we were always fucking happy as shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's funny.
We're just like, Gerald would get so mad. He's like, will you guys fucking just beat somebody up? And I'm like laughing, because I'm like, yeah, but it's so much fun. Like, I don't care if I beat somebody up or not. I'm here to have fun.
I'm enjoying it.
Now, obviously that changes when you start going against a lot tougher people. And mind you, people listening, 90% of the people there can kick my fucking ass. So I guess I just enjoy the torture. But that 6-week stretch where you were hurt, and I think you came over for the Khabib Justin Gaethje fight.
Yeah.
I think that's really what solidified you joining my gym and actually me helping you with some of the other shit that we've done.
Yeah, because that would have been probably November, and I joined the next month.
Yeah. And then we've done some squat programs. We've done a lot of other stuff. But one thing I wanted to touch on while we're talking about that, and you have had a break in your foot within the first couple months of starting something new. So it took you 6 months of talking about going to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And then you finally go. And why don't you describe you might be a little different than I was, so why don't you describe your first feeling walking into that gym? You know, it's so weird walking into a jiu-jitsu gym. So what was your first thought when you walk into this place? And then I'll share mine.
I see, obviously not knowing what to expect, being like, I don't know if it's shy or nervous, but like just kind of like, I don't know, man. It was a whole different environment, dude. Like intimidating. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, and I mean, it took probably months and months and months before I'd get comfortable there, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I'm wanting to be quiet and not, you know, make anyone mad or offend anybody, because being around different types of people for the first time in my life. And, you know, like, I know that, you know, typically I could crack jokes with people that I know, but I don't want to offend anybody. And
then you got my dumb ass saying dumb shit.
Yeah, I think that's what made it a lot, you know, easier to get relaxed in there, because like somebody that's, you know, kind of the same sense of humor.
Yeah. It's so weird, because I know I was talking to Tyler about this, because he had a huge wrestling background before he walked in, so he did not have those same butterflies and things that I experienced.
Yeah.
The first time walking in, I was almost sick. Like I legit, my stomach hurt. I was like, dude, what if I walk in and they just beat the living fuck out of me? You know, because I was big into the UFC. I'm like, what if these guys like break my fucking arm, or they do something crazy like that? But our instructor Gerald is really good about, you know, warning people, and telling the higher ups who's being an asshole and who needs put in their place. And I think that's what's humbling about jiu-jitsu is the first 3-4 months. In your case, you got injured right away.
Yeah, about 5-6 months in, I think.
Your first couple of months there, you you feel like an outsider.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say you're an outsider in the way that people treat you, or they don't make you feel welcome. You judge yourself so harshly. It's like, when you're rolling, you're just getting the fucking shit kicked out of you. You're not getting any offense. It's just getting the hell beat out of you.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, is this even for me?
And I don't even, like, I felt the longest time, like, I don't even know if I'm doing this right. You know, like what am I?
You're like, and the people are.
It's helpless.
I don't want to say they're laughing, but you got this at the time. Caleb was 17 years old, just beating the fucking shit out of me. And I'm going, this little 160-pound kid that I can bench press fucking 30 times.
Just
destroying me with this aw shucks smile on your face. And you're like, that to me, that was the coolest part on this road to your optimal self, is the humbling experience of realizing the dude that looks like a dork, the dude that you would pick on, might be able to fuck your shit up. So you should probably take it a little bit more serious when you're going to talk shit to somebody. And I feel like it helps you mentally respect everybody in your life more, because you do. After about 6 months, you carry yourself differently. When you're walking, you're more cognizant of body language. You're more aware of what can go right or wrong in a fight. So you really do. Even though you're training for a fight, you're training to realize, I don't ever want to get into a fucking real fight, because I know what I can do to someone at this point, and I really hope I don't have to. And if I get my ass beat, that meant that it went really bad, and it could probably not go very well. But when you came back from your broken foot, did you get those same nerves? Because now you have 5 months experience, 4 months experience ish, before you come in. You got a stripe or two on your belt. Do you still have those same nerves because you're walking into an environment that you've been injured, or do you walk in with more confidence knowing that was just a fluke injury? Because that truly was a fluke.
Yeah, it was. I think it was more being afraid of re-injuring it again.
Yeah.
Maybe being a little extra cautious when rolling.
Yeah.
But didn't want to have that in the back of my mind all the time either. Worried about getting hurt.
Because you can roll differently and
and
actually get caught up in a bad position because you're trying not to hurt yourself. It's just like if you're trying not to lose, there's a lot different between trying not to lose and trying to win.
I think what changed a lot with how I roll is I used to think I was probably spazzing a lot, but I remember you just telling me about you slow it down.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I was spazzing, that all the new people do it, and
yeah.
you texting about it, and I changed my approach on it ever since then. I'm I'm not going to be that guy that's going wild. So
it truly is, and we've all been there where we're the white belt spaz.
Mm-hmm.
I think it helped that I was a lot older getting into jiu-jitsu, because shit, it just fucking hurt the next day. If I acted like a spaz and did half the shit that all these other guys did, that I would be so fucking sore the next. I mean, I'm talking people trying to do cartwheels, fucking. I don't know. I've seen Clint do fucking jumping jacks and shit. I'm and I know he's not doing a jumping jack, but it's what the fuck are you?
Funny.
What are you doing? So taking a more cerebral approach, and I think the actual text I sent you was, you've been here for 6 months. You've been in every position, and you might know 1 or 2 moves from each position. Mm-hmm. Focus on just thinking about those 2 moves. Don't invent the wheel.
Right.
Don't try any fucking crazy inverted triangle bullshit. Just worry about the 2 moves that you are comfortable with from those positions. Mm-hmm. And I bet you now, a year later, when you get in those positions, like today we're rolling, I guarantee you use the same couple of escapes over and over and over.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But you don't think about, I'm going to do this, this, and this to get out. You go, no, I know this works. I just got to get into the position to pull it off.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I've not had to come back from, I did come back from some pretty significant neck injuries, but it was never I've broke my, my foot and I need to figure out how not to roll for that. I'm pretty sure I broke my toe in November or something, because that shit still hurts, but I hate being off the mat. I hate not training.
It sucked because I had running goals. I wanted to hit it was 750 miles ran for the year, and missing October, November, December. My own personal side goals. So having a broken foot, not being able to do it, that sucked too. That was a whole nother thing. This is a whole nother side thing. Yeah. That really bothered me.
Well, that brings up an interesting point. When you're on the road to your optimal self, what does that look like? Everybody that I've talked to that has been on this journey, so to speak, we all have one thing in common, and that is we have a goal. And usually it's not just one goal. It's usually a very long-term goal, and then it's micro goals in between. So you said you had a 750-mile goal.
Yeah, that was for last year, and I think I got in the 500s. I don't even know why I set that, what that was. It
was a number.
Yeah, I think it was man, I forget what I was on pace at the time, but.
Now, are you using a Garmin to track that, or just an app on your phone?
I had an app on the phone where I would I'd have 5 different routes I would run, and I figured out how far those were by tracking it, and then each time I'd go run it, then when I'd get home I'd just mark it down, and I'm just literally just on a piece of paper and I'm tallying it out
that's
like
fucking
that.
Old school.
It's
right
so
there.
unorganized.
No,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was doing miles and then how many pull-ups or something, and then I was quitting smoking cigarettes too. That was another thing. Had a goal to keep it under 40 cigarettes last year. So,
did you?
Yeah, and I was at 37 or something. Yeah, that was just another thing to try to, if I'm improving on these little things, I feel if I do that, I'm gonna feel better by doing that.
Oh, absolutely. Have you smoked at all in 2021?
I've probably had 10 cigarettes.
Is it usually drinking related?
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
And last year most of them were girl related. So.
Girl related. That's a whole different road.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed during the pandemic, that's usually when someone like myself in the past has been successful, when your back's against the wall. This time I actually shut down for the first time in 9 years. I started battling real bad anxiety. I was not working out. I think I drank in 1 week like 6 bottles of wine, a fifth of whiskey, a bunch of fucking, you name it, I was drinking almost every day. Some of my favorite bands on Twitch were doing happy hour like every day, where they just logged on and answered questions and shit. And I was literally treating it, I'm like, okay, fuck it, I got nothing to do today. They took my gym from me. I'm going to go ahead and drink for fucking an hour a day. And I slipped back down into some pretty unhealthy habits, to where I'm recovering right now from a pretty bad acid reflux and digestion issue, and I think it stems back to basically going off the rails during all that shit. But writing down, it isn't even writing it down. It's verbalizing your goal to, say, a training partner, to say, in my case, I own a gym, so I put it out to my group, hey, and I actually have a goal right now that scares the living fuck out of me. July 9th next year, 2 days before I fucking turn 40 years old, I'm going to do a full Ironman, which is 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and a 26.2 mile run. And I already texted that to my team.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm going, I know how this works. I texted to my team. I'm like, someone talk me out of this, and everyone's like, we're in. We'll do this with you. Nobody's doing the full with me that I know of right now, but I put it out to the world, knowing damn well once I said it, it was in stone. Yeah. And I think for you, 750 miles is probably a pretty fucking significant number, and this Ironman is a pretty significant thing for me. So it's like. And I always know the goal's perfect when people start going, dude, you take on too much. Like, you're
that excites
you're doing 75 hard, and you're bringing back your podcast, and you're doing this. And I don't know when the fuck this is going to air. I plan on getting 6 or 7 of these recorded and then start posting them, so we're not on a time crunch all the time. But as of right now, I'm on like day 48, I believe it is. Oh, you're doing too much, man. You're doing 2 workouts a day. You're drinking a gallon of water. You're reading 10 pages a day. You're doing all that, and you're going to bring back the podcast, and you own a gym, and you're going to train for an Ironman. And I'm like, yeah, that's how my shit works. I am at my best when I have to be so disciplined that I don't have time to think about anything else. Like, I literally want to leave the gym knowing I have to go spend time with my family. I don't have to. I get to go spend time with my family. But I only have, when I say I have to, I have a 2-hour window when I can actually do shit with my family that they don't resent me. And that's how I work best, man. Damn. Like, I literally am a creature. And you're, one of the reasons you're on this podcast as my co-host. You know for a fact, the year I've known you, I think you would say I walk the fucking walk. Like, I don't just say I'm going to do it. It got to a point, Chris texted me last week. I was on vacation. Me and Chris had talked about it so much, he woke up late. He still texts me, dude, I'm going to be late.
Right.
Like, you just know on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays when we're planning on having something, it's not even a spoken thing anymore. It's I'm going to fucking be there unless I tell you differently. Yeah. And even sometimes when I tell you differently, you get worried that, oh shit, I'm still supposed to be there.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Because
about to be late.
That's how, I think that's the missing component that a lot of people don't realize when you're trying to hit a fucking scary goal. You have to respect it so much that no matter what, you make time for it. Yeah. It can't be, and I'm sure at first when you're trying to quit cigarettes, the pull, just, dude, you're not even that far away from it. Just smoke the cigarette. You're not that far away from being lazy. Just fucking take the day off.
Oh, it's so much easier.
It's so easy to do that. But now flash forward, you said that was 2016?
When I started, 2017 is when I started exercising, but 16's like the pivotal year where it was down.
Yeah, the down.
That was the rock bottom year. Yeah.
So 2017, almost 4 full years ago now.
Yeah, it's crazy to think.
Is it still easy? Would it be easy to just be lazy now? Or are you so in that habit that you're like, okay.
When I have those lazy moments, there's a lot of guilt.
Yeah.
Like before I could just be lazy, but now it's like, man.
You know what you're capable of now, right?
Yeah. I know I'm failing myself.
And it's not even you know what you're capable of, because we haven't even reached the point where we've actually maxed out.
Yeah.
Like, but you know you're on this road to something that could lead to just, who the fuck knows? You don't know what the fuck. Hey, if you'd have told me a year ago when me and you first met, we'd be doing a fucking podcast, I'd be like, you're fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But sometimes the weirdest thing pops out of nowhere. And I'll tell a funny story right here just to show you how weird this life works sometimes. I'm a huge Iron Cowboy, James Lawrence, the guy that just finished Conquer 100 Ironmans in 100 days. He ended up doing 101 just to prove he could, which is fucking nuts, right?
And you're about to do one, right?
And I'm about to do one. And it scares the fuck out of me to do one. He did 101 consecutive days. No missed days. 101. But I actually reached out to him during right after it finished, and I told him about my goal. And I'm like, you got me inspired. I'm thinking about doing a full Ironman. And his response was, why wouldn't you? And that's all it took to get me on that. But I started clicking around on his links and all, and I see this company, First Form.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, who the fuck is that? And you'll see if you're watching the video, there's fucking First Form banner. I reach out to them and I become part of their team, and that company, that whole atmosphere has completely transformed the way I go about stuff. And it's not even, it transformed who I am, because if you follow a lot of those guys, they have the same fucking attitude that I have. It just reinforced that, hey, motherfucker, there's other people out there like you. The owner of First Form created 75 Hard, and now I got this whole group of individuals that think and act just like I do, and it reinforces and almost makes you work harder. You're like, fuck, these guys are going to outwork me. And then this other part in my head's going, no one will outwork me.
Yep.
And it becomes this, and then I'm like, fuck, these guys are awesome. I got to try their products. And I was with another company at the time, and man, their products were so fucking good. You just tried the Formula One yesterday, that Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yep.
God damn. Formula One is that's my shit. But I actually started with them because of the gut stuff. I was trying to find some greens that I liked, some fish oil, and a multivitamin that I could actually stomach. And shit, it's just crazy how the world works and leads you from, okay, I'm thinking about doing an Ironman, to, okay, here's this company that will support everything you want and drive you to be the best version of yourself. And then gives you tools necessary to become even better at what you do. Now I got an app to go ahead and help train people, and there's just so much cool shit there. So it's just funny how the world works. Like I said, who'd have known a year ago, me and you'd be sitting here having a fucking podcast with each other. And now you're like, I don't even know what you're staring at now. But you're like, did your mind drift to a goal or something?
No. It's just
you're just
staring out
in the zone. I just, the only reason I bring that up is I've seen that look in my face. I'm not saying you were drifting off of what I was saying. It's like, sometimes when people talk about like their goals, I get so motivated that I'm like, I start drifting off like, oh my God, this dude's right. I'm going to fucking do this. I'm gonna hit everything that they said I couldn't do, and I'm one of those weird guys. I don't know. Let's talk about your motivation.
So you get motivated by the doubters, don't
you?
I
do. I fucking love. If you are listening to this,
I've witnessed it. I've witnessed it.
If you're listening to this and you think I'm a piece of shit and I'm gonna fail, thank you.
He's gonna use it.
I'm gonna use it. I love the idea of someone doubting me. It is because I have so many voices in my head telling me I'm a piece of shit that I fucking love it.
I've seen you talk to when we were doing the squats, talk to the bar like it was.
I did.
It was telling you couldn't do it.
Fucking bar.
And then you'd go and get a new PR real quick.
Yeah. It's but in that vein, what's your motivation like? Are you externally motivated? Are you internally motivated?
It's internal, that's for sure. I know when oh man, it's gonna sound psychotic, but I think that's called.
Fuck, we're all about the psychotic stuff here, man.
2018, 19, when I was probably getting into running, like getting into good at it, I would create fake scenarios in my head with real people that I knew, and pretend that they were like saying things about me, or like I would pretend that they were doing the exact same thing as me, and I wanted to do it better than them.
Oh, yeah.
And it's completely obviously made up, but like I would pretend like it was real, and I'd get angry. It's just weird. I would just create something in my head just to get through it.
You do that. I think a lot more people do that. I don't think it will sound as psychotic as you think it will. Because if you look at the greats, Michael Jordan was always chasing the next championship. Mm-hmm. Kobe Bryant was chasing Michael Jordan, and he was trying to outwork him. And we all have that driving force, or that person that pushes us. And I mean, even though I know and I want nothing but success for you, and I know you're training just as hard as me, I throw in 100 push-ups a day just to fucking one-up you. I'm gonna do shit to beat you.
Right,
so I would tell you, even though you might be thinking it's a fake-ass scenario, if you're comparing yourself to me, I guarantee you it's a real scenario. Because me and you are doing the same shit. I 100% want to do it better. I want to do it more, and I want to make sure you fucking know about it. And in saying that, I want you to beat me.
Because that's going to make you work even harder.
In this small, weird way, I want you to fucking beat me, so the next time I come back and go, motherfucker, watch this.
Yeah.
I think those people are the most important training partners that you can have, because I don't want someone, if I'm rolling with them or if I'm squatting with someone, I don't want somebody that I can fucking beat, because that's not going to make me better. When I'm the best in the room, I've hit my peak.
Right, yeah.
I want someone that's and if you're the best in the room, fucking find somebody else that makes you not the best. And I guarantee you, if you're in my fucking gym, you might be the best in the room. I'll find something that makes you fucking the worst. And I don't give a fuck what it is. If it's carrying an odd object, if it's dragging a fucking sled, if it's something, there's always something you can be doing better. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just, that's how we're wired, man. You gotta be chasing something. And I'm not even saying it has to be a person. Don't think that even in what I'm saying, I'm sure you would say the same thing, even in these scenarios in your head, it's not like you're wishing ill on the person that you're quote unquote trying to do better than. It's just it's a motivating mechanism.
Yeah, it's like it's just using it as a tool to get through it for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah. It's like when I'm squatting, or me and you were on that same squatting program, I would sit there and I would be like, okay, me and him are doing the same shit. I'm going to do it heavier, you know?
Oh, there was no doubt with that. There was no doubt with that. Your warm up was like my almost finishing one.
In saying that, I got a 1 pound lifetime PR, and you got like a 45 pound one. So technically, you did better than I did.
When I first started, the first time I ever came here, we did squats, and I think I topped out at like 180. I think it was, and then so I started with that, and then I got up. Was it to 225, and the failed 245.
that was
dude.
That was pretty epic.
That's actually like a fear of mine, having the bar drop on me, and that happened, man. I froze.
Yeah, and I ended up having to fucking basically deadlift the motherfucker off your back.
You're like, push it back. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that was fucking fun. Anyway, I think that is a good first episode back. One thing I want to do, and I know I've done it in past podcasts, and we'll both give one. What are you currently reading, or what's a motivational book, podcast, some kind of recommendation for people to?
I'm finishing The Comfort Crisis. I think it's by Michael Easter. I think it is.
Michael Easter?
Michael Easter. Like the holiday.
Okay. Michael Easter.
Yeah, Comfort Crisis. It's definitely a motivational book. You know, you think you got it tough, then you read the stories in that, and it's like, oh, okay, got it good.
Right now, I would recommend to anybody that is competitive, Tim Grover, Winning. That's probably my book of 2021 so far. It's probably in my top 5 all time. It's an easy read, but at the same time, it's going to fuck with you mentally because you realize how many excuses you make, and you realize the path to greatness is not a fun one. It's tough, and frankly, when you read that, you might realize I don't want to do this. But in saying that could be a book. If you read that and you're not fucking inspired, you probably need to reconsider your life choices if winning something is your goal. Anyway, that's a good episode back. Have a good day, y'all. Boom.